At first, number 17 looks very daunting when you see the graph. Don't panic, though. I'll go ahead and tell you, this one's actually not going to be nearly as hard as you think. Let's go for something that I think would be an easy way to narrow down some of the answer choices. Okay, first, this portion of the graph. Well, first, there are 3 sections to our graph. It's piecewise and there are 3 sections, and every one of our answer choices has 3 options. So, you know, that narrows nothing down, but I just wanted to point that out. Let's come back up for just a second. And let's take this one piece at a time. This piece of the graph right here exists from -5 and back. So it's less than -5. This part exists less than -5. Question, is it equal at -5? For this section, the answer is no, because it's an open circle, which means that should not be filled in. Okay, now if you're scanning through your answer choices, that already narrows it down a little bit, but I'm going to keep going. For this section in the middle, it goes from -5 to, I almost said 2, but we're looking at the x's. It goes from -5 to 0. We're going through the x values. So it's from -5 to 0, and x is in between. It's kind of sandwiched in between there. And knowing that it's sandwiched in between there, we're going to put less than symbols. Now, one of them is equal and one of them is not, and I know you can figure this out. That one is a solid circle, and that is at -5. So that one equals, that one is open, so it is not. This graph exists from x values 0 and up. Up because it's going to the right, not because it's increasing. So it is greater than 0. Does it equal 0? Yes. Now it touches the y-axis at -1, but at the coordinate 0, -1, it is equal. So there we go. So knowing this, we've narrowed it down already, and you could have got that just based on that first one right there. So knowing that, that rules out C and it rules out D. Okay, so let's look and find the differences between C and D. I'm sorry, between A and B. The first section is the same. No big surprises there. The second section is different because that's a minus and that is a plus. The third section is also different because the -1 is not under the square root here, but here it is. So what I suggest we do is graph either the second piece or the third piece and see which one matches up. I'm going to go for the second piece. So here it goes. We're going to graph it. Just in case you have the scatter plot turned on, you may want to hit second scatter plot, make sure everything is turned off, and then we're going to press y equals. If you have a bunch of stuff in there, clear it out. Go through and clear out, and we're going to type that part in right there. -x plus 2 squared plus 6. Okay, I want to graph this on a standard window. So zoom 6 puts it on a standard window. Okay, that does sure enough look like that. I'm going to double check though, just because I feel like it. I'm going to graph that part right here in y2 just to make sure. X minus 2 squared plus 6. And pressing graph, there's your first one, there's your second one. Clearly that one is not right. That's the correct one, which matches with this one. That graph right there was in Y1. The answer is A.